G'day there everyone, Daniel Anderson here. Now today we're going to take a look at a Microsoft Teams add-on licensing module called Microsoft Teams Premium Licensing. Now I will say that I am not a licensing expert, but we do have a number of tables that are going to showcase the difference between the standard Microsoft Teams licensing and then also Microsoft Teams Premium licensing and what that brings to the table. Then at the end of this, or after we go through the licensing side of things, we're actually going to take a look at how we go about creating and publishing a Microsoft Teams webinar and what options we do have with Microsoft Teams Premium licensing when it comes to webinars. So let's have a look at the licensing first. Now, Microsoft Teams Premium licensing is an add-on license. Now, it allows your organization with Microsoft 365 subscriptions to enhance the Microsoft Teams experience. So with benefits like a more personalized and intelligent meetings and webinars, enhanced protection for meetings, advanced management and reporting capabilities for your IT department, and also advanced virtual appointments. Now, if we turn our attention and our focus now to comparing the two I'll call them products, so Microsoft Teams Standard and Microsoft Teams Premium, we can see here on the screen that we've got the first section, we're focusing on meetings. So we can see the feature, and then we've got two columns here for Teams, and then what we also get with Microsoft Teams Premium. So obviously everything that you get with Teams is included in Teams Premium, plus we've got some additional capabilities with Teams Premium. So we've got customizable meeting templates for your organization, adding organizational branding to meeting lobbies, customizing meeting backgrounds for your organization, customizing together mode scenes for your organization, reading live translated captions during meetings, translate post-meeting transcriptions, which is coming soon, and also we can turn on eCDN for live events. So there's some capabilities there that may be of use and of benefit to you if you need those capabilities for your Microsoft Teams meetings. Now, if we scroll down a little bit here to Microsoft Teams webinars, then you can see we've got a few more advantages here with Teams Premium. So we've now got the ability to set up green room for webinar presenters, where all of your presenters, if you've got multiple presenters, can then pop into the green room and get ready and wait in that room specifically just for them. Now we can also manage attendees' views. We can send reminder emails to registrants. We can create a webinar wait list as well, because we can cap the number of people or registrations per webinar. So we can also then have a wait list as well. We can then also manually approve registrants. We can limit the day and time when people can register, and we can also use RTMP in for webinars as well. Now, turning our attention to meeting protection, we've got some additional things here as well. End-to-end encryption for meetings with up to 50 attendees, control who can record, we can prevent copy and paste in meeting chats, we can assign purview information protection and sensitivity labels for meetings, and we can use custom user policy packages as well. Now, from a reporting perspective around meetings, we've now got, if you do have the premium license, navigate meeting recordings with auto-generated chapters as well. Navigate meeting recordings with PowerPoint live chapters. We can view time markers in meeting recordings when you joined or left a meeting. We can search meeting transcripts with speaker suggestions, which is coming soon, and the next one's coming soon as well. View and act on auto-generated tasks from meetings, and view when you were at mentioned as well. So a few things coming soon. Now, around virtual appointments, a few things here around our virtual appointments. We can customize the lobby waiting room with themes and logos. We can send SMS notifications. You can see there's a little asterisk there. SMS notifications for virtual appointments is currently only available in the US, Canada, and UK. So chat back and forth with attendees in the lobby waiting room, which is another feature there. Organizational and departmental analytics, view and manage scheduled appointments in the queue, viewing and managing on-demand appointments in the queue, and sending post-appointment follow-ups as well. So there's quite a few enhancements and benefits around the features when you do have a Teams premium license. So if they are of benefit, then you should look at your options around the Teams premium licensing. Let's now step through the process of utilizing Microsoft Teams webinars and how we go about actually creating a Teams webinar, and then what options and capabilities we do have. So we can see here, I'm just in the browser here, and I'm logged in as Megan. I'm in the calendar view here. So what we can do here is under the new meeting, we can select our little down chevron and we can hit our webinar button. Now we need to create our basic information first. All right. So let's create a basic webinar for us to have a look at. Let's give this webinar a title first. Let's select a date for this as well. So let's pop this in a week's time. So next Monday, 3:30. Let's make this an hour till 4:30. We can give our webinar a description. So let me just grab a description for this webinar, and then we can also then add. We've got some capabilities here, some formatting things that we can do as well. So obviously in our kind of like our little WYSIWYG editor here, we can do our formatting around our description. We can see that we can do bulleted lists and all that sort of stuff too. We've got the option here to add our presenters, so we might want to add multiple presenters for our webinar. So let's add Alex in to our presenters box here, so there can be 2 presenters here, and we can also have 2 or multiple co-organizers. And you can see with this little information button here, co-organizers can manage the event but can't publish or edit our webinar info. So they're not shown on the registration page, which we'll see shortly, but they can help organize and manage things as well. So let's add Nesta in here as a co-organizer. Now we can see also that we've got the option to have different types, or 2 different types of event access. We've got only people in the organization, or we can create a public webinar. I'm going to keep this as a public webinar. Now you'll notice that all of these other sections here are grayed out because we need to save our basic information first. So we'll go ahead and save our basic information. That's going to send the invites across to the co-organizer and also the additional presenter. So now that we've saved that, you can see that the other items here open up. All right, so we've got our presenter bios here, so we can edit our bios. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, let's just pop the same, I'll edit Alex's bio here. You can see I've got job title, company, LinkedIn profile, personal website, and I'm just going to pop in the bio here. What I'll do is let me just populate the other options here as well. So I'm just going to grab, I'll just grab my LinkedIn profile, and I'll also grab a Twitter profile here as well. So let me just jump into here. So we'll paste in our Twitter profile like this, and let's say marketing manager as the job title, company Contoso, and we'll save that like so. We'll do the same thing for Megan. All right, so let's now just paste in a bio for Megan as well. So we're just going to do the same thing. We'll just have the same bio here. I'm not going to worry about LinkedIn profile or Twitter profile. Let's just go manager, and we'll go Contoso again for the company. Actually, let's put Microsoft for the company, so that we can have a look at the difference here. So we've got 2 bios for our speakers edited. Then we move on to our theming section here. So you can see that we've got the ability to have our banner image. So when we can change our banner image, and we can choose to upload our own banner image here as well. So I am just going to grab a little banner image, and we can have a look at what we do here. So we can see that we've got the option, and you can see that we've got some recommendations around our size. So 920 by 230. I am just going to move this up like so, and we'll save that like that. So we've now got our banner image, and we can also then have our theme color and our logo. So I'm just going to change our logo from our default, and I'll pick a logo. So let's just pop a logo in like this, and we'll save it. And then we can also change our theming color if we want to. So our theme color is purple. Let's change it to a reddish color. So we'll save that now. That's now changed our theming. Now under the registration drop-down box here, we can see we can configure how our registration happens. We've got a capacity here as well. So we can limit the number, all right? So let's limit our number to 100 people. And we've got a couple of options here. We can require manual approval of all event registrations. Now, depending on your governance and your processes here, you might want to turn that on or off. We can enable our waitlist as well. So that means when our capacity is reached, then the next person or the next person on the list will then be added to the webinar as well if somebody cancels their spot. We can also limit the registration date. So if we need to block after a certain period of time, then we can also do that as well. Now the registration form here, we've got some customization options here. We can add some additional information if we want to collect more info from our registrations. We can see first name, last name, email, and the Microsoft automatic consent are already been added, but we can add additional information here. So let's also add job title. We'll add organization, and then we'll also add the industry. All right, so we've added 3 additional form fields here. We can then have a look. Let's save this. So what we'll do is let's save this first. So we'll save our confirmation. Now, attendee status doesn't become available until we publish this. And then we've also got our reports. So let's go ahead and view our draft after we've done this setup. So we've taken to our registration page. All right, so we can view this in draft mode before we go ahead and publish this. Okay, so we can see that we've got our banner image, not ideal. All right, so we'll go back and change that in just a sec. We've got our title, and we've got our theming coming through with our color scheme. We've got our date, we've got our details. And here we've got our speakers and the bios and links to any of those links that we added there. This will appear once it's published for people to register, and they'll be presented with a form. So what I want to do now is I just want to jump back in here, and let's jump back into the theming, and I want to change this image. So let's choose another image, one that fits a little bit better in that header section. So I'm just going to find myself another image here. So I'll scroll through some images, and I'll find a nice image that we can use for our banner. So actually what we might do is let's just choose this, and I'm just going to pop and slide this up. All right, so let's save this, and that might fit a little bit better in our banner image. And there we go, like so. Let's just view the draft again. All right, so we'll just view the draft, and we'll have a look at that change. So we can see there that we've now got our header image, and it looks pretty good, ready to go. So let's go ahead and now publish our site. So once it's published, the registration site, people are going to be able to find it and register for the event. All right, so we'll publish, and then we are now all set and ready to go. So now we can publish and share our event. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm just going to open up an in private window so that I'm not logged in as anything. All right, so I'll paste this link in the browser, and let's now have a look at what the public would see if they landed on this page. So we can see here that we've got the banner, we've got the title, we've got the logo, we've got the theming coming through. So obviously the theming is coming through in the button and also these icons. We've got our speakers and their bios. Now let's register. So we'll click on register, and we're now presented with a nice registration form. So we can see that we've got first name, last name, email, job title, organization, industry. So these 3 here with the extra fields that we added, and we've also got the terms and conditions, the default Microsoft ones. The first name, last name, and email were also just included in the original one as well. So let's go ahead and register. So I'll go through and pop all of my details in here, and we'll go through the registration process. email, job title, and organization. Like so, and we'll go industry, we'll go technology, and we will accept the terms and conditions, and we will now register. All right, so that's going to now register that. We're taken to the confirmation page here. So it's been processed. We sent an automatic confirmation email back to that person, and then that person can now also share that if they wanted to as well. All right, so we can add it to our calendar. All right, we can see that we've got one registered, and let's have a look at the email that gets, or the confirmation email now that gets sent back to the person that has just registered. So that confirmation email has now come through, and we can see that we've got all the details of our event, and then we can add that to our calendar. So we'll hit yes, we're now all accepted, added to the calendar, and I've got all the information that I need to. I'll be reminded, obviously, and then I can join the event. Now, what about what happens on the back end of this? So let's have a look here, and I'm just going to refresh this because I'm in the browser. I'll refresh this. Let's have a look at the reports in the back end now that somebody has registered. So we'll just refresh this. We'll wait for this to load, and then we'll open up a couple of the sections here. So registration, let's go attendee status. You can see that I've now got one registered. If I expand this, you can see that I can see when they registered, email address, name, and I can click on this more option here where I can see I've got the job title, organization, and the industry as well. Now on the report section, again here, these are our reports that will be generated from the event. So once that loads, we can have a look at what we get here. And you can see I've got the view the attendance. One person's viewed the registration paid, one person's registered, no cancelled subscriptions, and you can see here what our participants as well. We can also download this if we need to use with some analytics. All right, so there we have it. The Microsoft Teams Premium licensing, a little bit of a side-by-side comparison with Microsoft Teams Standard. Plus, we've just gone through how to set up a Microsoft Teams webinar, and there's a few added advantages there with the Teams Premium licensing that you do get to help set up and create and manage your webinars. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.